Hey there, and welcome back to Off the Rails, an educational monster train series where we explore content mods for the game. We are, I think, winding down on our Hellborn Pathogens series. There's a specific thing I want to try, and honestly, I still haven't even hit the super high rolly thing yet, right? The high roll where you play this with Umbra, which is one of the ones I want to do. So that's not happening right now. But what I'm going to do is similar to the previous episode, I want to play with a pathogens secondary play. So I'm going to do random into pathogens, but instead of using Virion, I'm going to use Flee. And we're going to see if we can come up with something cool here. I considered specifically choosing Solgard just because I think Solgard is a very specific use case that would really love this card. Flee has a bizarre mechanic. Obviously, you apply Contagion 6 to the enemy, so you choose something. But, well, you actually don't. It specifically targets the one with the lowest health, which means you can play it on a floor that doesn't have an enemy. Okay, that's cool for things like Wormkin. It's also cool for things like Solgard. But the most important thing for Solgard is this applies Shard 1 to a random friendly unit that already has Shard. A very strange mechanic. I dislike personally that you have to have Shard in order to get it, but I understand why, because not everything in the clan or elsewhere wants it. So, kind of an interesting mechanic there. It does mean that your first incant literally cannot be with Flee, or I guess it could be. You would just be wasting half of the effect. But that said, I think it presents some interesting opportunities. So I want to try this and see how it goes. The last thing I'm probably going to do with this clan, if I haven't rolled into an Umbra run by then anyway, which I guess we'll find out today if I hit it, I'm going to play a Pathogens with Umbra run. I want to see how unrepentantly busted it is to play a build reliant on culture, so units appearing on the floor, when you can just spawn so many of those casually and freely. Because I really do think it's going to be busted. So, anyway, we'll give it a go, see how it ends up, and yeah, I don't have terribly much else to offer here, so as always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's see what we end up rolling into today. See what kind of nonsense we can get up to. Maybe we'll see Solgard, maybe we'll see Umbra. I think I could pick Solgard. It could happen. I could just select this. Nah, I'm gonna randomize. I like it more this way. Alright, let's do it. But maybe. But maybe? Alright, you know what? I've convinced myself. Let's play Solgard. I really don't think Flee is going to be that interesting otherwise. Let's do this. Alright, fair enough. At this point, it's like if the last couple episodes are me selecting something and just to show something cool off, I think that's fine, right? I don't have a million more episodes of me in this particular clan. I want to try some of the other clans actually and see what the heck they are. There's a few more that are on the workshop, so that seems fun. Anyway, this will be pretty good. So hopefully you're all doing well today. I'm doing okay, preparing for a very busy week at work. I'm a little bit into it. I'm recording this on a Tuesday, believe it or not. That almost never happens these days, but today I just simply did not sleep or very much at all. So I woke up early and it's like, all right, well, let's do it. So hopefully you're doing all right as well. Anyway, today we are, as I specifically chose, Exile Stygian, Exile Pathogens, which should be a pretty wild clan combo. We're facing Explosive Sigil Daedalus, Spell Shield Fell, Sap Seraph, we have Flash Freeze, a very good opener, I like pings, Feverish Response, which is pretty solid, and Guardian's Amulet, which is also here. Not terrible, but usually not a very good card. So, pretty good opener though. We have front damage, we have pings. I like all of these things, so that's awesome. Temples today are on 2, 4, 5, and 8, so 4 temples, pretty mid. We're not doing 200 shards necessarily. I also just generally don't think that Pathogens is particularly good at 200 shards. The synergies are very niche and generally struggle a bit to get going. Some of them can obviously pull it off if you hit the high rolls, right? I think the champions can somehow pull it off sometimes, but yeah. Regardless, the Hellvent on 8 is on the magic side, nothing fancy. We do have a removal dupe on 7 with some health, pretty good. There's a trinket shop with money, I like that on 7 as well. No money in the middle, but we do get another horde, so that's pretty good. Magic shop and steel shop on 6. Magic has the vortex. Pretty decent spread, otherwise nothing to call out. Steel and magic again on 5. Magic again getting the vortex, this time with a horde. So generally magic shops are much stronger on 5 and 6, but we still do have steals available. There's a magic shop with no steel on 4. Magic shop does have the Stygian banner. Steel, the other side has horde plus vortex. This means we get double steals early, and we do, which aligns with double Pathogens banners. It's a lot of fun because I am kind of interested in trying more Pathogens units, seeing if I can come up with something cool there, so that should work out pretty well. Cool, alright. Solgard. Let's go ahead and look at the horde first. We get Volatile Gauge, Icicle Fracture. Volatile Gauge here is throwing, so we'll simply take Icicle Fracture. It's not going to be very great, simply because we do have foregone powers. We're going to discard half of our own frozen cards, but that's okay, I suppose. I don't feel terribly strong right now. I do have Reach, so I think I am going to take the horde here. Light's Gift is nice. Oh, but Ice Core? Now, hey, wait a second. Isn't Ice Core insane? I have Solgard. I feel like I'm morally obligated to take this, right? Solgard with Flee. Wow. All right. Yeah, sure. Let's actually click Ice Core here because it's more interesting. And then we end up... Oh, this is going to be fun. We end up on Cold Channel, Dire Channel. Now, Dire Channel is terrible. Even with Gain Shard 2 like this, it's really bad. But Cold Channel should absolutely pop off, right? Let's take it and go. Now, I don't think this clan combo has anything to keep Solgard among the living. Does it? There's, what is it? I could Life Elixir something, right? The annoying thing about it is he loses Shard. So that's a bit of a bummer. What else is there that's really cool here? There's a couple of... Yeah, here we go. Booster Shot would be an excellent hit. So I think we can make this work. I'm going to take the unit draft. Actually, does this... Solgard doesn't... The Shard doesn't get applied to the card. Right, yeah, okay. So that's fair. So I can do this up here. Now... I'm going to go ahead and foregone power first, so I get the shard. Then I'm going to hit the Flee, and this is what? Excuse me, that's... Oh my gosh, wait a second. Gain +1 shard each time it is applied to a friendly unit. Wow, so Flee is now shard 4? That's crazy strong. Whoa, buddy. That's nuts. We're going to go absolutely crazy here. The Contagion does kill that man. I'm going to go ahead and foregone power downstairs to kill that enemy. I guess we do get the Flee active here. I can ping a friend. A single Flee up here gets this kill. We can kill... How do I do this? I can kill this guy in front. Kind of. Wait a second. Okay, we can get him. I had to think about this because I was like, hey, wait, what is the trick here? And yeah, we figured it out. We figured it out. Okay, so that's good. We managed to... I can actually... I would kind of like to play... I'm going to put a Train Steward in front here. And I realize it's weird, but I want to preserve his health. I want 2 hits here. We'll put down some Frostbite otherwise onto the boss. We should win this, right? Oh, I missed the 50-50. That's okay. Might get it next turn. We should, I think, come across a victory here, right? Yeah, we get it. Great job. Actually, we pulled it off completely. It's a lot of frostbite we are applying. This, I think we rolled into something truly disgusting, and that's pretty exciting. Mollusk Mage, Crypt Builder, Helical, Crystallis. I don't think I want any of these cards. We're going to go ahead and skip. I have Feverish Response, so I don't need the Crypt Builder plays. Ascend a unit and apply Sap 2. Another Feverish Response. I'll take Bacterial Growth. This is a potentially much better ping overall for killing enemies. What is this? Simplex Virus Diabolicus. Summon one recombinant virus and apply Contagion 6 to each unit with Contagion. I don't think I'm going to take that. We're going to go with Nameless Siren here. It's maybe more boring. I could just take Titan Sentry and have double Frostbite floors. I actually think I'm going to do that, believe it or not. I think that's just better. It makes Endless really good here, which I appreciate. We do roll the multi-strike. Okay, fair enough. Well, Antigen Mimic does heal. I don't culture at all right now. But it restores health to all friendly units, so... I should have taken the Nameless Siren. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like you can never guess, right? I have no good multi-strike targets here. And there's no stat boosters present because I didn't take the Nameless Siren. That's a shame. Well, how do you even culture like this? I literally cannot culture with Flee. This is, again, one of the just mega downsides of this, right? If it was Virion, we would be able to at least use their abilities, but we can't. I guess I'm just going to take the guy that has the most health. I don't know. It seems like something. I'll take something there. I suppose I can... The problem is with it, even this infusion's not very good, right? No, it's not particularly potent. Plus 30. I mean, I don't hate something like a plus 30 on Feverish Response. I don't think I want that, though. I'd rather Tenon Piercings. I also don't feel like I picked up a lot of value here, so... Let's take a plus 25 on Titan Sentry and move on. Unfortunate to just leave a multi-strike in the bank like this, but both of these are truly not great for it. So I think we're going to move on. That's a tragedy. I'll take another unit draft here. I think we can get away with it, thanks to Shark's existence. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually think Carrier does much of anything here besides pass away, but that's okay. I can at least shoot the guy on... I think I do want to shoot out this person in the back here. Yeah, okay. I mean, even if it might cost me the Collector, I think it's okay. Then we put the Shark downstairs. I'm going to go ahead and flee middle, which should kill the floor. It does. Yeah, great. I can also save a lot of health here, which I think is worth it. So I will do that as well. Okay. We've done something. And now we're just going to generate as many shards as possible, basically. We clear bottom floor pretty well, so let's move on and just play out a bunch of units. We'll hold on to this. I mean, we do a lot of frostbite here. The culture guy does essentially nothing, which is a bummer. I'm gonna hit that flea upstairs. It's good. We managed to freeze bacterial growth, which will provide some value. I could do a lot of work here. Yeah, alright, cool. Managed to increase the damage on that by a decent amount. I would like the health booster ability here. Yeah, Titan's Gratitude, Mollusk Mage, Ice Tornado, all skips, for sure. Alright, well we didn't roll the thing we wanted. That's a bummer. Unplayable. Reserve, apply Dazed 1 to all units on the floor where your turn ended. It's pretty easy to freeze this with Icicle Fracture if I remove all foregone powers. Why would I want to daze all units on the floor? Is there ever a chance? I mean, if I hit it with the problem I have to watch out for is I need Solgard to get hit, so I could hit it with the double stack and then catch it with a icicle fracture, and that essentially is Light's Gift, right? So that works, but it exclusively requires double stack. I don't like that. I mean, we gotta keep Solgard alive, but I missed the one time I wanted the common that boosts health. Is there anything else in the clan that actually supports this line? I don't think so. We also missed the common replicate, which is a bummer. So, yeah, no booster shot. This would have been the actual proper hit here. I don't think there's really anything else that supports what we're trying to do here, right? I don't think there is. I mean, okay, evolving resistance would be a good hit. Survival of the prolific, if I could take advantage of it, is at least health gain, but I don't think that's ever going to be valid here. Interesting. So we've high rolled on generating shard, but have failed on any means of keeping Solgard from death. And of course, Stygian has nothing to support this, because that's just kind of the nature of Stygian. So, okay. Now, I could hold on to the mass hallucinations and try to preserve Solgard for Relentless, interestingly enough. It's an option. This is not going to help on most floors, is the thing. I feel like I should still take this. I'm going to grab it. It's at least synergistic. We get our Nameless Siren again now. I mean, I guess I'm going to go for it. It's fine. It's a little late. It's a big bummer, in fact, but it'll have to do. Now they're going to show me quick and large. Yeah, okay, here we go. I'm going to at least take the Incant Armor 2 here, and we're going to spin that. I don't want the quick. I do get the multi-strike again. Okay, so the Nameless Siren comes online. Fine. Pathogens banner. Roaming Macrophage. It's not a good infusion here. I don't generate enough culture triggers to make asymptomatic carrier good. I truly have no culture triggers, in fact. This clan almost is not functional in a lot of ways with Flea. This is definitely a problem, right? The clan has so much that's reliant on creating units and yet has no means to create units half the time. I mean, I skipped Simplex Virus twice, but I needed an attacker, right? So I don't think I really had a choice. But even then, it's like that's the only thing. So it's tough. And that thing's 3 space. This unit, despite the fact that this unit probably necessarily exists for the clan. Like, look at this guy. Where is he? Simplex. Look, he's 3 space. I mean, he's at least got 30 health, which is nice. He summons a guy, which is nice. And apparently he does something. I don't actually recall him doing this Contagion 6 before, but... So he's a decent card. The problem is there's just not enough stuff that does this otherwise, right? I've missed... Where is it? I missed the viral outcropping. So what? The only other option that creates a unit is Room for Growth, which is hyper inefficient. So it's definitely not it, right? It's like 100% it, not it. We're going to skip there. I'm going to go ahead and take this Horde. When you summon your second unit during a turn, draw 1, gain 1. That's basically an extra card draw on turn 1, right? That's cool. When you summon your first unit a turn, add a Virion spell with Purge to your hand. This kind of, on some turns, creates stuff. I might be able to use this with an eventual Endless Titan Sentry. The question really becomes, do I want the dude, right? I think we're cutting Asymptomatic Carrier and probably just playing Stygian units. I think Research Notebook is going to provide more value in general, so let's go for it. It's only the first turn, but it's pretty useful to have that on the first turn, right? This is going to be more valuable than an extra spell I don't really want to add to my deck or play. So we'll take that research notebook. Go ahead and hit the cave, see what we roll. I'll take a build a card. Build a card, armor or regen. That's tough. Now, because of... I could roll regen heal here. But we could also not roll heal, right? If I hit the... I could have hit ascend and then the final page. So the safest play here is armor. We did roll heal. I will take this, actually. Armor heal is fine. And then I'm not going to mess around with pull, push, or descend. This is a good card for Solgard, and we're going to grab it. That is one of the few things I could have drafted that actually gives Solgard more max health in a way, right? Armor. And then also heals him of any damage he's taken. We could have gone regen heal there, but there was no guarantee we rolled into the heal on the second page. So it could have been the other two. So I wanted to have at least something that gave armor, and that's actually fantastic. I'm actually very pleased by that old magic roll. That will do a lot of good work for us. So, great news. Right, interesting. So, drop Solgard, Nameless Siren. I can 50-50 here. Yeah, check this. And then it dies of frostbite. So this is actually a very interesting setup. I want to do this again, right? I want to do it again here. So here's the play. You just go... I guess we play the asymptomatic carrier. And then I can get a train steward out. And then I can play it like this. And then I simply end turn here. And we do it again. And this prevents the bomb from double tapping. It's actually immediately Mass Hallucinations is providing some value here. We get the old magic play. It's worth it. Flee is worth it. I do want... I have to be careful about where I end my turn now. Because... you know, obviously. And then I don't want to end my turn on a specific floor. I guess I could let this daze downstairs? Sure. Turns the bomb off. I'll take that. Right? Okay, went upstairs. Now, this is definitely a flee turn. I do not have a good feverish response target. I could gamble on foregone power here. There's a lot of... I mean, I actually will do that. Oh, wow, what a good hit. Incredible, in fact. Crazy. Let's go ahead and feverish response downstairs. Just blow up the bomb. It doesn't do anything useful for me, but the important takeaway is... and we have to think about which turn gets the mass hallucinations. This freezes bacterial growth, though, which I really appreciate. So, that's good. Okay, we get another bomb upstairs, which is a bummer. Not a huge fan of that. Now, because of the contagion on the floor to this guy, let me read this contagion situation. He does this to all enemy units. I basically trade 6 Pyre health for 16 Solgard health, which is probably worth it. So we'll do it. Yeah, I trade... yeah, okay. So I trade a chunk. And that actually, I think, guarantees me that the win on this particular combat. So we'll take it. Okay, cool. I am just kind of freely generating this bacterial growth value here, which is nice, I suppose. I won't say no to that. I could pop this front dude, but I don't really hate it. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm going to go ahead and daze bottom floor because it forces him to take a 67 damage tick here, which is amusing, right? He just takes a free 67 damage. And we can do it again upstairs. I mean, we casually win this anyway. So I'm just going to let this rip on top floor and he takes the frostbite, which is easy. So, nice. Okay. Cool. Honestly, pretty decent. Survival of the Prolific is health. And damage. Restore a friendly unit to full health and remove all debuffs, though. Yeah, we're going to click that, actually. The big full heal is great. Spliced Monstrosity? Man, if only there were a way to reasonably culture here. I can culture by... I don't have to culture, right? I play him. Whoa. Hold up. Now, unfortunately, the infusion is bad. I was going to say I could put that in a Nameless Siren, right? But the unfortunate thing is I don't think it's good. Now, why would I want this card on the floor? Is Spikes versus Solgard business? It's good, right? It's good. The question is, wouldn't I just prefer to dupe the Nameless Siren? I'm looking for an infusion is the thing. There's not a great one. I don't think it's ever roaming Macrophage, and sadly, Vero Demonologist Infusion, it got buffed, actually, I think. I think his stat line also his base culture got buffed, which is good. These are like fine things. I like them. I'm just not triggering culture very reliably. The reason why Splice Monstrosity is interesting is because think about the world where you basically play this first. And now how does Lee work? And apply to a random friendly unit with Shard. So I would be stealing from Solgard's buffs by doing this. I think we skip that. I don't think any of these infusions actually help me here. I'll just self-infuse if I have to. We should take draw at this point, I think. Yes. Now, I do need to remove some trash cards. Is this Magic Shop interesting at all? Man, this Bacterial Growth does 19 damage. That's pretty good, actually. I'll take a Stygian banner because I might roll into an actual infusion that I like. Yeah, you know, like a Titan Sentry, sure. I'll take that for now. Sure. Go Cold Channel 2, absolutely. Give him 50 health. Plus 30 magic power. Plus 30 on the old magic is pretty good. Let's see if I can't roll something like a holdover here. That'd be pretty cool. I could just permafrost the Bacterial Growth directly, which I don't want to do. I do want to make old magic cost 0 here. I would rather hold this over than plus 30 it, if I'm being clear with you. So I'm not going to take the 20 consume. I would normally put this in a Feverish Response, but let's spin that. Okay, no holdover. Unfortunate. That's okay. I'll take another -1, and this one's going to go into... Honestly, it probably is Flee, but I think the right choice is going to be Miraculous Recovery. This is basically getting played on Solgard every time I see it, so we'll click that. Plus 10. I suppose we could do this. Put it on something. I don't see a reason to spend that money, though. I do want to remove Asymptomatic Carrier here. He's in the way. Okay. That should improve some things. Purge. I would like to purge. Where's my banner situation? I get infusions in here. Okay, so I basically have to go... I can dupe Siren on 7, which is after... Yeah, this is right. I take the space on ring 6 from Fel. I'm going to dupe Siren on 7. For ring 7, we have 2 just baseline Sirens plus Solgard. A great floor, should be very strong into that combat. Then on ring 8, we self-infuse the Siren on 8 and then dupe the self-infused Siren. That will give us a much stronger floor overall, and we should be okay. Now, I do need to be a little bit careful because my only survivability here is coming from the Incant Armor 2 gain, which is not fantastic. So I don't think we handled Divinity particularly well right now. I think Purge on a foregone power is valuable, and then we move on. I don't have to actually do anything here. My goal will be to hunt Endless and probably Self-Infused Shark either way on this next ring. But it's actually better to have 2 sharks right now. Yeah, 45 gold, we'll move on. 40 into this combat, feeling pretty safe about that, I think. I can take this aggressive amulet. So it is actually, unironically, a little aggressive, but it doesn't take much. I can play a shark downstairs and we cut out most of these enemies. You know? Hit that foregone power. We get the double fleas up top, which is just great scaling. And then I get the permafrost in on bacterial growth one more time. Fantastic. We get the siren down. It's good. I do want to put in the other shark here to hit that research notebook. We're actually going to use the bacterial growth here to kill the real scary guy, which is great. Go ahead and foregone power here. Now, is there any turn? Is there anywhere I don't want? It doesn't really matter. Mass hallucinations doesn't do anything to me, really. I'm just going to sit on mid-floor for this, though, because I don't really care about that daze otherwise. Alright, cool. Let's toss some armor upstairs. It's good. Lee, for sure, is valuable. Bottom floor, alright, he's holding on. Good job, buddy. Play the flash freezes, I think. Flea is very strong, obviously, but I'm actually going to hold on to a flash freeze in case I need it. We'll play the Flea instead here. And then foregone power once. And that is going to be it. I think we take the, what, 8 damage? Yeah, fine. Miraculous recovery is good. I need to incant a bit, right? Is sort of the situation we're in. Alright, that does get the kill, which is nice. Unfortunately, we're not getting Research Notebook here. Only 1 unit. That is going to have to do. Sure. I can save some health here with the Guardian's Amulet. Might as well. And then we'll just freeze the Train Steward and hold on to him. Play Old Magic. It's good. Play Flea. It's good. Mid-floor, I can hit him with the Feverish Response, killing that front guy. I could actually have procced the Notebook here, which is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and hit this Flash Freeze on top floor here. Yeah, that's fine. The reason I'm okay with that is because we have enough Frostbite on bottom to survive this. So, in that, we'll delay the Conduit, which is nice. Let's go ahead and Train Steward to redraw here. I like that. I want to play Flea upstairs. It's great. Flash freeze. Just incant, really, right? And then we hang out, I think. There's really no reason to... I mean, I just delay a turn downstairs because it's funny. Right? Haha. And then in the same business, we take curses, but that's okay. I get the Miraculous Recovery, which is an excellent roll. I don't want the curses. Seems fair. Lee is strong. We're looking at 50 shard here. So, we're not incanting very well right now, because Feverish Response is actually a terrible incant. I should actually consider removing these. They get in the way of the draws, because I can't play them because they kill Solgard, right? Which is a bit of a bummer. I think I win here no matter what, so let's just hold on to stuff. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. I don't incant well, but the upside is that I do generate shard well, which is funny. So we're a little slow in that respect. Okay, I can do better. Preserve. Now that's got a fun interaction with bacterial growth and mass hallucinations, right? But we need to improve our incant, right? I mean, the foregone powers are self-discarding. I need fleas to be cheaper. I need magic shops. So we're going steel and then into magic here. We got to look for that endless, I think. And it's a good opportunity to do so. Is preserve ever worth it? It's not bad, but I don't need mass hallucinations, right? I don't think so. I think I'm going to skip here. These don't seem particularly impactful. Sympathetic emesis. Now, you see, the interesting thing about this is I can permafrost that with Icicle Fracture, and that sap is helpful. This is probably a really good card here, but I actually think Specimen Catalog might be better. Why? Because I can actually use it, right? The problem is I need to cast my spells. I don't want to get them stuck in my deck. I guess Sympathetic Emesis I can always just use. I'm gonna click it. I think it's a good card for this particular run. We can use it on Divinity. I'm gonna go left. I do think this is the opportunity for it. Oof, I'm giving up a really good magic shop though. How important is Shark? Getting Endless, huh? Like, what if I miss Endless here? This is kind of a garbage side. If I go to the right, it's actually quite powerful. Where are my steals? Steel, I don't really have many opportunities. If I don't go on this ring or the next ring, I basically don't see them. But let me tell you, our run looks real clean if I just go to the right here, yeah? Yeah, alright, let's just go to the right. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a great example of I don't need this to win, so don't make stupid decisions. Tempered Talisman is fine, I suppose. It's not particularly great, but it does boost some cards. It's better than Rationing Scales here. Removals are... I think these need to be the Feverish Responses first. These are actually unplayable as incants, right? And the Train Stewards at least proc the Research Notebook, so I think I actually do have to cut the Feverish Responses here. Because even though they benefit from being attuned in the Tempered Talisman, the problem is very clean. I just can't actually play them on my floor. Tell you what, Intrinsic on Sympathetic Emesis is pretty tempting here. Let's see if I hit like a double stack. Wow, Permafrost just out of the gate. Huh. Well, just a permafrost on Sympathetic Emesis. It's not terribly good, but this does... There are ways that this benefits me, right? Is this right? Bacterial Growth up to 30 damage. I've only used it once in the entire run so far, but... So, like... It's fine now. I can use it to kill a Purifier. I don't think I need it to get any stronger. But the truth is that it's like, alright, sure, great, it's a good ping. I'm going to go ahead and hit this Sympathetic Emesis like this. I think that's good. -1, I mean, I need fleas to basically be like... I just slam flea every time I see it. And we get another Remove Consume, which is a bummer. I'm going to go ahead and hit another flea with a -1. I think we're going to buy a removal. Yeah, I'm going to buy a removal on... Honestly, it's Foregone Power, and it's not even close. And in the Temple, I think we want... Do I want to Intrinsic the Sympathetic Emesis? I think we want to hold out for a double stack option. Because if I hit double stack, then I apply Sap 2... and I can gradually sap the Divinity and weaken enemies just enough so that Solgard doesn't get punished as hard, which is quite good. Now, is the +30 ever worth it here? I don't think so. Do I actually care about Shark? Maybe not. Right? I have, what, 15, 10, so 25. I'm looking at 65. I can always take stuff at the end. Dupe will be 15, so that's 80. I mean, I'm guaranteed to be able to get it at the end. I could always self-infuse a Train Steward if it's that bad. Or actually, that's the infusion for Nameless Siren. So if I skip The Titan Sentry infuse now. I never get it. But I'm also never looking at a steel shop again, so it's not worth worrying about it. We just move on. Okay, crazy. We're only playing to 100 here because the run is very bizarre. Heaven's Seal doesn't frighten me that much, actually. Yeah, I mean, they'll walk to the pyre, but then they die in one hit from Solgard, so I kind of don't care. Solgard, Titan Sentry is your friend. I can actually stop this damage. I'm going to just hit Flee, and that's okay. Orgon Power here does have some value. Double incants is good. Or double, you know, the normal thing. Play Flee. It's strong. I'm going to put a second Shark middle here. I'm going to put a Train Steward downstairs to pull the Research Notebook. We get the incant. I don't honestly know which one we roll into here for the Icicle Fracture. We'll just see. Ended up being Mass Hallucination, so sure. Oh, the other one already had Frostbite, actually, so this just makes sense. Yeah, okay. Play the other Train Steward, draws me a card. Get the incant here. Can play the Miraculous Recovery. I can Frostbite here. Do I need to remove Mass Hallucinations? When it connects like this, it's like, actually, I can't put Sympathetic Emesis on the same floor. Interestingly, right? Huh. I need to remove Mass Hallucinations, don't I? If I'm going to do the Sympathetic Emesis play, yeah, I am. I can't even play this. This should be a zero-cost card so that I could get rid of it, right? So I could drop it, because it's now actively detrimental. Yeah, alright, I sadly have to end my turn in the Pyre Room. Now this guy is going to fortunately pass away pretty convincingly thanks to the Frostbite, but still a bit of a bummer. Incant, it's your friend. I could shoot this man probably down. Yeah, he is dead, fortunately, which is good. I'll play the Flee. It's very efficient. I'm going to hit that Foregone Power roll, which is also very good. Now, again, unfortunately, I do need to end off turn. Off floor, rather, is what I mean to say. Okay, we kill some minor dudes. Let's go ahead. Incant upstairs. There are a bunch of cards that are very good to play here. We managed to get the kill, which is fantastic news. Keep discarding. I have no space on the train. The Train Stewards are actually a problem too. And top floor is clear, so let's just kind of let that sit. That's good. Okay, Miraculous Recovery. Definitely keep every single card every single Flee is worth playing, basically. I can go ahead and actually end turn on bottom floor here, because it does waste a turn of stealth, which is worth it. Alright, well, Old Magic upstairs. Old Magic is just basically hard carrying here, I think. I'm going to go ahead, Flash Freeze the boss, hit her with the Sympathetic Emesis now, and then end turn down here to buy another turn. Alright, Stealth is gone. This person is now dead, basically. There is no world where this doesn't end poorly. So, we just end turn here and we're fine. Yeah. Great. Cool. We do 1,000,000 damage in Frostbite. What did I roll? What does Bottled this do? Every 2 units you play this battle, all cards gain +1 magic power for the rest of the battle. Sure, why not? I guess that helps some things. Okay, sure. Unnamed Tome is a good card. I do not want to take more discards with Drain. I like the idea, but I don't think it's a good call. So let's hit that Unnamed Tome and just play that. That's good. Nausea, Hyper Lasik Spike, Destructive Testing. Apply Replicate to a friendly unit, then destroy it and draw a card. This could actually... It's baby Endless on Titan Sentry, weirdly enough. I don't think it's actually good, though, right? It's baby Endless, but I have to kill him on my turn. Actually, you know, this would have been one of the few runs where I would take a very easy apply replicate for Titan Sentry. It's basically, I'm not going to go to a steel shop, so... Now, Hyperlasic Spike does actually nothing for me. Nausea is actively... It's good, actually. But my -1s are going elsewhere. I pretty much want to just spam Flee on this run. And then enemies hit Solgard and die, and we just keep Solgard among the living. I think we just skip that, actually. I don't want them to be dazed. We're going to go to the right again. Cool. I'm going to take the money. Great work. Double stack is a fantastic roll on Sympathetic Emesis. This is pretty much what I'm hoping to hold on to here for the long term. This is SAP 2 that will gradually disable the Divinity and other things. And it only affects enemy units. Yeah, that's great. Cool. The -1 here is going into Flee. I'm going to re-roll here. Obviously, I am. But if they show me Holdover, they don't. Okay. I was going to say, if they show me Holdover, I have the difficult decision between removing Mass Hallucinations here, which is a problem card, or picking up the Holdover. But instead, we can actually just remove. But there's removals here, so don't do anything too rash. Where's Mass Hallucinations? Goodbye, buddy. I do need you to go away. Okay. The rest of these removals, I think, are just foregone powers. It's just a difficult card to play. And I want to put a -1 into Flee because that's just necessary. And I think we're golden, right? Yeah, I think we're good. I don't need that permafrost on anything. I will just be playing Bacterial Growth at this point if there's value in doing so. Yeah, if there's value in doing so, I will do it. Okay, I think we win this fight, no problem, and we should reach 100 shards without issue here, so that's pretty good. Right? I technically get some magic power too, which is kind of neat. Upstairs, right? You play it like this, and then ta-da, we got the thing. Great. And then we spam Flee here, and we're looking really good there. Let's keep incanting, actually. I think the incant is more important than hitting something else. So... And now here it's Shark, right? Yeah, fine, I think. I'm just going to incant, right? There's no reason to go too crazy otherwise. Great. Shark is probably going to pass away if I don't roll something good. I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy in middle and save Shark a billion hit points. Now, foregone powers are playable. Hey, look at that. Cool. And then I can go unit, and get a free Flee out of it, and that's pretty neat. And we end turn up here, which just saps the boss, or saps the thing down a little bit, which is good. Basically, we're relying on... What is it? I'm relying on Sympathetic Emesis here to save health on critical turns. Now, what I can do... Is there a reason to ping here? I should take out this middle guy, actually. And then we will start sapping Bell. It's slow, but it's good, right? It's slow, but it's good. And then I don't really care, because this is so much Frostbite that the fact that they hit is great. And then I just end turn up here. Now, I don't actually want to. This actually... Oh, that worked out. Okay. I was like, I don't want a Sympathetic Emesis there. Yeah, we put 110 Frostbite on Fel on that turn, which is incredible. We get it back anyway, so I'm not actually concerned about any of this. Let's Frostbite this scary enemy downstairs. Hit it with the foregone power? Ah, bummer. I was hopefully going to hit it downstairs, but alas, it's fine. Okay. Heal, playing it. I'm going to kill this big scary dude on middle because it's a problem. I do want to keep otherwise sapping upstairs. Very important. Okay, yeah, I mean, if my incants are basically quad shard plays, we're in pretty good state, right? Just apply ridiculous sums of everything. Yeah, pretty good, right? Pretty good. Just keep incanting, I think. Play the bacterial growth, honestly, is fine. Cool. We sap it out, it's good. Now here you may go like, well, hey, it doesn't look great to me, but you can actually just disable the boss here. I don't even need to, actually. We simply apply enough Frostbite that we're golden. Right? Look at that, 104 stacks. Seems decent. I'm going to let Bacterial Growth sit here because I might as well reserve it, right? Seems good. Okay, I think we have this. Deep Offering, Harness the Titan, Pandemic. Pandemic is basically Inferno, but it only affects enemies and then deals damage to them. It's a pretty good card. Now, I'm going where? Hellvent here. So I see one more magic shop and one more temple. I want to put another -1 in a fleet. We're going to go ahead and cut both remaining foregone powers at this next location. I want to avoid discards randomly. And at that point, then the only cards left in my deck are really just spam flee, which is pretty much ideal, right? So the -1, I could put a -1 in a pandemic, actually. It's a good blast floor card. Yeah, sure, let's do it, right? Wide Waves seems strong. Space. I wanted a second Siren, right? Yeah, okay, space it is. Seems good to me. We go left, it's Foretold. Get that Pyro Remains, we get the Horde here, Totem Fragment, Refracting Lens, Cheater's Hand. Interesting. I don't think there's a Cheater's Hand pickup that really helps here. Totem Fragment allows me to use things like Bacterial Growth for big damage, I suppose. It'll make Pandemic decent. There, I guess I'll take it. I don't really consume a lot of cards. Refracting Lens, I mean, I guess I get the one, right? Sympathetic Emesis eventually might, but I kind of like holding on to it. Health is health, right? Health is health. How much health am I getting up to? I do have Pyro Remains coming up. There's also Pyro Remains here I haven't picked yet, so that's 40. I go up to 138. I think we're going to be okay. Let's take the Totem Fragment here. I actually already had grabbed that one. Whoops. Oh well. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and cut the remaining foregone powers at this point, because this is good. I don't mind the Train Stewards because of Research Notebook. Cold Channel 3 is when this really blows up, right? We're talking like multiple hundreds of stacks of everything every turn. So that's good. And then we do get our second Siren on this particular floor. We move on. We're guaranteed to reach 100 shards. Don't worry about it. Aggressive Amulet. Dangerous, but I think doable. Dangerous, but doable. Okay. Solgard upstairs, Titan Sentry middle, Old Magic upstairs is a good opener. So, like, Flee is a great... Flee actually kills that Shade Wings, which I think is quite interesting. I'm going to save the Train Steward here, and we're going to sap bottom floor, right? I think, because, yeah, you can see how this might benefit me. We get Siren upstairs. We get to play the Train Steward out. Now, a Flash Freeze middle doesn't actually kill him? Really? Interesting. Now wait, what's happening here? This is a confusing setup. Hold up. Each unit with Contagion apply. Does Frostbite trigger first? Is that what's happening here? Because he's full healing from attacking this, right? But I was expecting that's going to be what? He attacks 4 times? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 4 hits, so that's 12 Frostbite. 12 Frostbite with 8 Frostbite is 20. 20 Frostbite at the end of turn should take him to 5 health. And then I thought the Contagion would proc and push damage across. Oh, it's not. It is. If the damage on each unit that with contagion applies contagion 1 to enemy units. I see how this works. Okay, so this is not explosion damage. This is 1 contagion. So he lives with 3 health here, I think. So based on that, I actually don't want to have played that turn that way. Okay. Odd. All right. I have no issue. I have no qualms returning that combat back. That no issues with that whatsoever because that didn't make sense to me, and that's fine. Okay, fine. All right. Great. Now, because the way I actually want to play this, I want to go Nameless Siren, Train Steward here. I don't want to put the fleas on this floor. I want to play them upstairs. And then we go... We do click the Flash Freeze down here still, but we end turn down here for the sap. And... yeah, you see he lives, unfortunately, but not the end of the world. Well, it actually does look pretty bad now that I'm looking at it. Good grief. My guy is absolutely going mad with power. We're going to go ahead and Titan Sentry into Nameless Siren upstairs. I get the ping, which is life-saving, I think. True. Let's go ahead and just play that Unnamed Tome middle floor here so he doesn't get the Slay trigger, I think. We'll let this guy upstairs walk, and that's okay. Guy only hits me once. It's fine. Hey, look at that. Flash Freeze saves the day. Fantastic. Yikes. What a scary floor, huh? I do think we need to... These Shade Wings have got to go. I need to ping out the guys downstairs, but I think that's actually my pandemic turn. So let's shoot the man mid-floor, and then just, I guess, freeze something upstairs, which does provide some sap value. Guy will walk, it's fine. It sucks a little bit, but it's okay. We get the old magic play here. I get to remove debuffs. It's fun. Top floor is clear. I think this is an important pandemic on mid-floor. But I actually think I want to play out these double train stewards here first. Right? Because I get the it's live procs. I get the flea here. I can ping the guy downstairs. This is relevant because he will die over 2 turns. We can reduce some damage taken up top. Fine. Okay, I will pandemic upstairs now. No real qualms about this. My entire floor essentially collapses if I don't, which is fine. Great work. Go team. And then I will sap middle here because it'll add up. Great. Flee, old magic, absolutely. Top floor is clear here. We're going to go ahead and bacterial growth downstairs. I do want to just kill that guy. I'm just going to play out the train steward here. It's fine. Sure, seems good to me. We clear top. All right, I think we're in control, right? Flee. We get the old magic. I can go ahead and flash freeze one of the guys out. And we are in pretty good position, I think. Just hold on to the flash freeze, I guess. There's no reason not to. Alright, and then it's just flee, and this is a fantastic turn, right? And then I end the sympathetic emesis here, and we actually do lock him down just a little bit, which is good. Good. Took 30 damage. Not ideal, but it's fine, I suppose. Ice Storm actually benefits quite a bit from Bottled Terrarium if I want to go that route. It's a good plus 30 and plus 10 in piercing pickup. It's actually a good spell. We should grab this. We have a lot of synergy there. Intro to Biology. Draw a unit and reduce its cost by 1. -1 draw next turn. I actually think the pickup here is second. Now hold up. Apply Replicate to a friendly unit. That's pretty good, right? This is just Titan Sentry. Live. Reserve. Apply Damage Shield 1 to a random friendly unit on the floor. This is good. I want Prolonged Life. Never mind. I didn't know that card was a thing. I must have missed that part. That's cool. We'll go to the right, as before. I mentioned this. See what I get from the temple. Spell Chain. I mean, this is basically just spell chain, either old magic or flee, which is pretty good. I was kind of hoping for a -2, but that's fine. The play is definitely the self-infused Siren angle here, I think. Big damage numbers. Yeah, I think so. We'll self-infuse. Yes. We're going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to go ahead and dupe that now. And that takes me to 105, which is good. Hell's Banners is potentially really good for me here. Vapor Funnel is also good. Anything that walks with that Frostbite passes away, which is great. We see a Holdover. Holdover Old Magic is pretty much the greatest option here. -1s are easy. I think 1 goes into Flee every time. And I could just 20 consume this Ice Storm, actually. It's a good payout for the spell, since I didn't roll anything great here. It's pretty much gotta be Spell Chain Flee, right? This is just 8 shards to the floor, which is absolutely crazy. And I'm going to sit at 120, I think. The 20 consume I am putting into Ice Storm. It's a fine burn. I don't need it. Reroll here. Remove consume. No thanks. Another 20 consume I could actually put down like Flash Freeze if I want to. This -1 is probably Prolonged Life, though, because this means in the worst situations, Solgard returns among the living. I don't love the apply damage shield 1 to a random friendly unit on the floor. I guess I will hold off on that. Is there a better one? Could make Pandemic cost 2. It's an option. Do I just buy a removal on this amulet that I'm literally never playing? It's not terrible to get rid of it. The question is just what is the most value from this shop? You know, Vapor Funnel, good, right? Enemy walks on top floor. It's like tons of Frostbite, fine. It's solid. Tons of Frostbite. Cleansing Water's good, but I don't think it's that good. Hell's Banners only affects us on certain turns, but there are certainly turns where it will benefit us quite a bit. I could also re-roll and look for something like Founding Seal, but, you know, that's a bit of a high roll gamble. These are all pretty decent, is the thing. I could just... There's a question of, is perfect the enemy of good enough, right? Any of these is probably good enough. I'm going to re-roll, because there's a lot of other things that are good enough, too. Cuddlebeard is great. Cuddlebeard is pretty much incredible. Cuddlebeard Rules of Containment is actually something that I think gets regularly underestimated. But I think if I'm being honest with you, the -1... How much is that? How much is this actually? 240? It would be everything? Yeah. I think a removal on the Guardian's Amulet, which is actually unplayable now, is pretty solid. And yeah, we'll cut this, I think. We're going to cut Guardian's Amulet, which is unplayable right now. The hope here is that I would eventually freeze this and never look at it again, right? I froze it. Great. Right? That's the hope. But I think practically I'm going to just cut it here and then take a -1 into something. What is the card I'm playing every time I see it? Pandemic. I might actually try to freeze Prolonged Life. It is Damage Shield maybe onto, what, a Siren? Kind of. I think Prolonged Life really should target the back unit on your floor, right? The one thing I'm going to always want is I want the Damage Shield 1 on my back unit. If this always targeted the reserve on the back unit, this card would be actually pretty sick. Replicate is weird, and even after finding applications for it, I still don't think it's great, right? I get it. It's a temporary endless, but it's also so circumstantially useful, right? The reason it justifies its existence, and I've talked about this before, is it comes from the fact that it's a low rarity. It's more findable for a run. Your only other option is what? The Melting Remnant Tomb. I forget what it's called, the Remnant Pact or something. But anyway, that one's the only other access to it is Endless. And that's a true Endless. It's not the temporary Endless of Replicate. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and make Pandemic cheaper. I think that's just a great card. And the 20 consume here, I'm just going to blow up. Actually, you know, these flash freezes are great now. I don't hate them. That's Frostbite. I could remove consume. Unnamed Tome. You know I don't actually hate that, right? Yeah, okay, actually. Just seriously, I don't hate that. I had 120. I have a Purge available. Is there something I want to get rid of? No, I don't think so. I think we're just chilling, right? Let's go ahead and a 120 out of 100 move on from here. We should win. It's not the strongest run I've ever played, but I think it's enough to get by. And it utilizes some Solgard cheeky business here, which I super appreciate. So, cool. We're going to go ahead and play double. I'm going to play a shark, I think. We're going to hit the flee play here. It's good and great. We love that. I can just shoot a Shade Wings. I want to try to avoid the Shade Wings from hitting me if possible. And we'll permafrost the other shark. Sure, seems good. Great work. I am going to play Shark and Siren because the combo of them is a good play. We're going to hold over the old magic, hit that flea. I am going to shoot... What's the plan? I'm going to kill the 15 by 2 on bottom. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, now I do want Solgard to actually get hit here, right? This is high value because all of this Frostbite now goes on to Seraph. I do want a Pandemic mid-floor, actually. That's strong. Great. And then we end turn up top just for the sap play. But that's 97 Frostbite, and it's only, what, turn like 3 or something? He's basically already dead. Prolonged Life is rolled, which is huge. I'm going to play that on our friend here, so he comes back. This is actually the optimal Ice Storm turn. Fantastic work. Incant upstairs in a good way. And then we hit that Bacterial Growth downstairs. And I think we just sap mid-floor here, which is good. Great, we'll take it. I'm going to try to play out double Train Stewards here, I think. Actually, it's Titan Sentry into a Train Steward, I'm pretty sure. Great work. The fleas all must be played upstairs. I can actually Miraculous Recovery away the sap in the back, which is kind of cool. We're going to go ahead and hit that other play here. Mid-floor's looking fine. Let's try to kill this Shade Wings in the back. Should be okay. Who's getting sapped here? I think it's going to be the boss gets sapped here. I'm into that. Cool. Now, if I draft something really neat, I can actually Flash Freeze and save Shark, which is pretty big. The incants upstairs are fantastic. We just double tap the Train Stewards, and we get another Prolonged Life. Very cool. I'll just play that again. And then end sap upstairs, saving some health. Yeah, my guy's looking at 437 Frostbite. Seraph is dead. He just doesn't know it yet, and that's great. Fantastic news. It's a really good Pandemic turn, isn't it? Just hit the boss for a decent chunk. I think it's a really good Pandemic on mid-floor. Yeah, we'll take it. I get the flea upstairs. And what's the angle here? I don't need the Prolonged Life. I guess I can just leave Prolonged Life up top. I could also just shoot a dude. There's really no reason. I'm going to play the Bacterial Growth, actually. Play that out. Yeah, cool. And we'll just see if I hit that damage shield somewhere useful. I did. Great. Cool. Good job. And Shark actually does come back, believe it or not. He can just kind of hang out, and that's great. And then we can actually play out the other Train Steward to redraw finally. I'm going to go ahead and remove some sap upstairs. Continue flee. Continue playing everything else. I actually hit the frostbite on the prolonged life, which is very cool. Great news. I guess I'll hit the boss there, and then I'm going to end turn up here. The damage shield in front, not ideal, but it's fine. I don't hate it, right? It's not the worst. Old magic, yeah, we spam flee. It is the best card we can play by a wide margin. Hit that frostbite. I could play prolonged life. I'm just going to incant upstairs with the unnamed tome, actually, and chill. Damage shield in the back is great. Cool. We should definitely win here. I have no fears. Yeah, alright. We're super cruising, right? Absolutely crushing it. And this would be like the normal turn I would take is now I would just drop Sympathetic Emesis for 10 sap on final turn. And I will actually do that. And this man hits me once in front and then the boss passes away. And that's pretty great. Cool. That's how you want to play it. Divinity should look similar. And that should be a W, I think, if all goes well. So, cool, right? Very cool, in fact. This is Solgard into Siren. I do need to flee up here, and I'm going to hit the Miraculous Recovery to get rid of the Ember Drain. Shark, this bad shark can kind of just go downstairs. I'm going to incant up top with the, what is it called? The other thing. I'm going to hold on to Pandemic here for a future turn. Okay. Our whole goal here is to incant enough to live. And we don't actually make it. We lose a Nameless Siren here because of draw order. That is a bummer. I could have potentially drawn here. Okay, that was a mistake. Alright, resume. I have to remember Research Notebook. This is a thing I have to teach myself for this clan. Remember Research Notebook. Okay, we drew a card. Great. Miraculous Recovery is important. Yes. Titan Sentry. This turn is the same, I think. I actually could just burn this Pandemic on a floor. But I think I would rather the Ice Storm be burned. It's fine. Okay, now, the right way of doing this is, if I'm already going to be playing this Siren, is play a Train Steward, right? Yeah, okay, we don't actually draw enough to survive here, right? I go exactly to 11, and then we lose out. Bummer, so I do lose a Siren here. Okay, fair enough. Now, oof, honestly terrible. We're going to draw a card and see what we roll into here, I suppose. Okay, we get the Sympathetic Emesis, which is something, at least. It is indeed something. I think as a result of that, we're able to keep Siren alive for one more turn, which is pretty decent. But dang. Now we finally draft an answer. Okay. Ridiculous. Cool. We finally draft an answer to this. Now I should, I think, Train Steward. Yeah, and that draws me, I had to unnamed tome the mini-boss. Bacterial Growth here is a worthy pick. And then we end turn up top. And this is acceptable, I think. The guy actually does live a turn because of that damage shield, but that's fine. Okay, this looks bad, but this is actually our Pandemic turn, and it's not even close. Hey, look, we did it. heal our Siren on this turn, spam Flee here. And I think this is as good of a turn as we're going to get. We get a damage shield in the back too, which is nice. Okay, I think we've stabilized probably as well as we're ever going to. I'm going to put armor on the back here. I am going to spam Fleas on this one. I think we do need to put damage down on this fella, right? Frostbite on that floor. It's actually, that random damage shield was not good, but we're okay, right? Okay, alright. So I need to armor up in front here. I do have a Pandemic available, but it's not 10 in piercing. So that is a concern. I think we need to hit the Pandemic middle. And then the Frostbite, yeah, the Contagion actually kills those other guys. And we're going to see what we roll into here. Damage shield in the back is acceptable. Top floor is cleared out. Contagion clears out the scary parts of middle. We actually roll into the Pandemic again, though, which is pretty ideal. So we're going to click that here. Then we can heal up. Then we can spam Flee. And then actually it's Unnamed Tome middle. I could save it. I could just Bacterial Growth the boss, which I think is actually superior here. Yeah, alright. I'm going to save the Unnamed Tome for when he's on floor. We'll take the damage shield where we can get it. It's fine. Yeah, enemy's not actually attacking anymore, the Divinity that is. So that's good. Definitely Unnamed Tome up top here. I don't want the curse. I can stop the curse's next turn, which I will do. And I think we've managed to pull this off, even though we lost a person, right? We lost a Siren, but I think we're golden here. Yeah, I'm going to Unnamed Tome actually first. That's correct. And then the rest of this doesn't really matter. I could have ended with a Sympathetic Emesis. I did not need to. And things will attack here. You see it's like 800, 1000 Frostbite. We get it out. Okay, woof, alright. Dicier than anyone would have wanted. I'm glad we played this combo to try it out. It feels very ridiculous on Solgard, but at the same time, we really did miss a lot of the support needed to keep Solgard on Cold Channel alive. It's a lot of shard generation, but it's not a great score and not a great run overall otherwise. I will note, I think this is actually way better on Titan Channel because you can simply just get him out of his ethereal form in like one turn, right? It's fast. That would have been much preferred. This Cold Channel I usually only like doing in clan combos where, one, I'm forced to, like I was here, or clan combos that have support for it, and I have that support drafted. Nameless Siren Self-Infuse is also normally not my pick here, but I needed something, and unfortunately the infusions in Pathogens were all pretty bad, so this seemed to work out. In truth, I think having the second one was pretty important, so I don't lose because I lost one of them. A bad draw on both Old Magic, Sympathetic Emesis, and also actually Miraculous Recovery, which was a tool that could have been used to keep it alive. But we ended up just sacking all the Titan Sentries on Divinity, whereas we managed to benefit from the Replicate otherwise. But in the end, I mean, the random damage shields were okay, right? They were okay on Prolonged Life. I do think if I were recommending a new patch for this, the only thing I would change on this card is it should target the back unit with that damage shield. I don't mind it in the front usually, but there's a lot of circumstances where that unit is like a revenge trigger or something, and damage shield in particular can cause problems with that. So in this, it's obviously clearly a problem here. Enemy would walk up and did an extra 16 damage to me because it hit Solgard instead of a Siren. But I think the consistency of targeting the back unit would be welcome. At least it's more predictable. I think that would be beneficial. I also actually don't think this card would be that broken if it just applied damage shield out of the whole floor. But, fine. At a minimum, I think it should be the back unit. What else? Train stewards weren't terrible thanks to Research Notebook and the Bottled Terrarium. I left all four of them in, so that's pretty cool. Unnamed Tome. I don't normally remove Consume on this, but it did provide value here, which was very interesting. I enjoyed this because I used it multiple times, right? Even though it cost one. And costing one is a big detriment for this card. It being free is actually a huge upside. So the remove consume is not usually a benefit, in my opinion. In this particular instance, I did find a lot of value in doing so. Right? I used this on 3 different turns on Divinity, I think. Yeah, 3 different turns. 2 mini-bosses, both of which would have given me Vengeful Shards otherwise. That's great. And then 1 turn, which was the Relentless turn, I think. Right? So, fine. What else? Bacterial Growth does 41 damage. This card's okay, right? It's okay. If you don't use it, it gets a little stronger, and then it's a 41 damage ping. That's pretty nice. I don't mind this. It takes a while to get there, and I think it doesn't do that much. It doesn't do anything exciting. It's like between this and Flash Freeze, which one am I going to use, right? It's going to be Flash Freeze because this has, obviously, Bacterial Growth does more damage, but Flash Freeze bypasses spell shields by putting the Frostbite in a way that they can't get to, right? They take that damage even if they have blocked the damage from a spell shield, right, is my point. The other thing this does, it synergizes with Cuddlebeard, obviously. This also is just generally a more flexible card, I think. I can play it and do a lot of damage over multiple floors. So I can play this early, benefit from it later, things like that. Bacterial Growth later on does get really potent. I was obviously using this card, right? I'm not knocking it, right? This card is great because think about like Seraph, right? 25 health, elite Shade Wings. I need to kill that, right? And if I can't do it on mid floor, I don't have the ability to. Maybe I don't have enough damage on it. Flash Freeze only has a 10 or so reach, 20, I think, actually, in the end, thanks to Bottled Terrarium. And so in that case, Bacterial Growth buffed was beneficial. So I think it's a fine card. I don't have anything else to add. I think it's fine. You can just leave it like this. It's cool. Flee is a bizarre card. I actually think my biggest problem with Exile Pathogens is that it just doesn't play well with half of its own units. And it's bad in a bad way, right? There's like the other example I can think of is Awoken, right? You have those rejuvenate triggers, but you don't have restores. But there's enough density of heal cards in the clan that you can still pull it off. And Root Seeds is so bloody good to compensate. Flee is not as good as Root Seeds, right? It's just not. So I think the clan is too reliant on culture triggers to not have a culture trigger here, right? In my opinion, anyway. I don't really even know how to fix it. I think Flee could be just a unit that you played, but is that actually good? I don't know if the clan is kind of space starved anyway. Being able to do it as an overstack is better. I don't know. It's tricky, right? I think it needs more culture triggers just generally. It needs things that can trigger it. The fact that I'm looking at a Morsel Maker clone and basically thinking it's mission critical in some cases, like, oh god, I need Simplex virus, or I literally can't play my game, play the run. I think you need to do something here. I don't really know what it is, but I think Flee is the core to it. So, I don't know. Some thoughts, I guess. I don't really have a great answer for this particular one offhand. I could potentially come up with something. Maybe making it like I see the redundancy of Virion spawning a Virion, right? Or it's not even called that, right? It's like Recombinant Virus, I think, is the name of the card. I always just call it Virion, but it spawns a unit, so it's essentially just a thing that exists already. You don't have 2 unit starters. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you do. I actually think maybe a better play here, instead of giving random shards, would be to say it and trigger culture on the floor. That actually might be better. If it just triggered culture on the floor. Actually, I think that might be it, right? Apply Contagion 6 to the enemy unit with the lowest health, and then trigger culture on the floor. And then trigger culture, I think, is the language of it. Whatever the language of intent on death is, right? I don't actually know it offhand. Look that up real quick. Trigger friendly units culture abilities. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be great because that's literally the problem with the clan. It's not that I'm not generating shard, it's that I'm not triggering culture. This doing that would be actually pretty cool. I think that's actually your solution if you want to go with that. Nothing else really of note to here. The particularly combat call out, miraculous recovery is good. Remove debuffs, heal, cool. Prolonged life, otherwise fine. Sympathetic Emesis, I think, is one of the better cards in the clan. I actually think this is a great card. It's just generally a big fan of it. Pandemic is Baby Inferno. I say Baby Inferno, it still does 100 damage on most waves. The thing you have to watch out for, it's not piercing, but it doesn't hit allies, so ups and downs. The Contagion also does bypass Spell Shield, which is nice. You saw me do that on the Divinity, which killed a multi-striker, and it was very important, so that ended up mattering quite a bit. So, some good examples. I think it's a fun card. I think it's fine. Good. Not much else to add. Ice Core, good with Solgard, yes. Research Notebook, good relic. Bottle Terrarium, good stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to let you go there. Incredible work. Go team. I think the next run of Pathogens will probably be the last run of it. The one I want to do is I want to basically break Pathogens as hard as I can by playing it with Umbra. That's it. So we'll do that. Anyway, I'll let you go there. Hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.